Musa. Imam Labeebah Taofeeq Busari is Chief Imam and Director of Islamic Center in Kota, Ogun State, Nigeria. The graduate of science, the graduate of science also shifted his focus to Dawah activities, teaching the for over 20 years through online and in-person classes. He is married to 2 women, being an Islamic marriage counselor and public speaker. Imam Busari holds leadership positions such as Vice Chairman of Mujeedah Foundation and Chairman of the Parent Teachers Conference and the He has also served the Ekes Muslim community and known for his work as a Hajj and Umrah guide and Quran instructor. Joining the welcoming Imam Labeebah Taofeeq Busari. Also, we have our mate, Dr. Habeebu Dosunmu. Dr. Habeebu Dosunmu is the Director at the Ministry of Youth and Social Development. He has a PhD in Criminology and Social Problems from the University of Ibadan. The first degree in Sociology and Psychology, and an MSc in both at the University of Ibadan and Lagos State University of Sokoto. He works with the Lagos State Family Court as an assessor with expertise in clinical psychology at the Magistrate Court in Yaba, and he has been serving in the capacity to He has vast customary experience and has presented several seminars in family and marriage in Nigeria and abroad. Brothers and sisters in Islam, join me in welcoming Dr. Habeebu Dosunmu. Now, inshallah, the anchor for the final session, we have a male, and of course we have a female for this session. First of all, I will introduce the male panel anchor, who is our very well-known Khadija, who is the male founder and COO. Going to be anchoring the aspect from the male perspective and also the addressing us as regards what the program is all about and other activities we are to discuss. So I believe we all know Abu Khadija, but we want us to introduce him more. Maybe give us a explain. Now, Abu Khadija. Now, okay. I have sister, or let me say, Mujeedah Subair, who is a lawyer and a volunteer for Fountain Charity Organization. I welcome Mujeedah Subair to continue this. Very sorry. We also have part of our panelists, Mrs. Siddiqah Tunde-Lawal. She is a legal practitioner by the day with a strong bias for the ABR, a counselor, and a relationship management strategist. Every other time, talking marriage and personal growth among others. She has an greatest cause of men, gain clarity, and commend their self-discovery. Even joining along these delicate lines, she is passionate about guiding others and nurturing their relationships. She started as pupil counsel at the legal department of the Northwest Zonal Office of the Bank of Agriculture, Kano. Then, had a brief stint in private practice with these chamber lawyers and is currently in public service at the Federal Ministry of Justice. Brothers and sisters in Islam, I present to you Mrs. Siddiqah Tunde-Lawal.
Thank you so much. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. My name remains Mujeedah, Subair, and like you said, I'm moderating this session. So we have two topics we'll be discussing for this session. The first one is overcoming stereotypes and societal pressure in marriage. Overcoming stereotypes and societal pressure in marriage, while the second one is self-inflicted delay in spouse search, causes and consequences. So we're starting with the first topic, overcoming stereotypes and societal pressure in marriage. And like I said, I'll try to paint scenarios from the sisters' angle and the brothers' angle so that we can get a general perspective of what the questions are. So I would like to start from one very important area that even yesterday during the program, a lot of sisters were really talking about it, and that's the aspect of finance. We know as Muslims here, we understand that the men are supposed to be 100% or solely responsible for the family, right? But then society somehow now, whether due to relocation, economic situation of the society, is making the dynamics change. They're not making you feel like, no, even they'll tell the man, like, you can't be getting 100, she's getting salary now, she has to do 50%. And then even your female counterpart will start to tell you that you have to be able to do something in the house as well. So I want you to please help us demystify that which one is right. Should we really go by the 100% that Islam has preached, or because of society, let's start finding ways to support each other in the marriage? So I'd like to start with Labeebah. Yes, thank you.
Alhamdulillah. Bismillah, alhamdulillah, wa salatu wa salam ala rasulillah wa ala alihi wa sahbihi wa mawala. It is a very big thing to share Islamic message with us. That question is a serious problem in the society today. But one thing remains, the law of Allah. And the law of Allah remains that the man is responsible financially. The man, I think I need to repeat it. The man is responsible financially. He takes care of the financial needs of the home. If the woman is getting 150 million monthly, and the man is getting 100,000 naira monthly, the money in that home monthly is 100,000 naira, and the finances of the home should be planned on the 100,000 naira. The woman should allow the man to plan based on what he has. If she is given a particular thing and she feels that, well, I think I want something suiting than this, she can satisfy herself. But who takes care of the responsibility? It is the man. The woman should not create unrest or imbalance in the system and say that a woman of my caliber, I cannot live in this kind of house. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying. You know what his income is. before you marry him. Don't tell him to go for a duplex when what he can afford is just a room and parlor. Problem will come later. Because there will be a limit to what the woman can. Okay, we say, okay, I'll give you the money now. Let's just get it. Okay. To rent an apartment is not the starting. It is the continuity. Who pays it after the first one? Then you start telling me, you are a man. How can a woman be heading so? And you man? Now you'll be telling me stories that touch the heart. You know? Allow him plan the household based on what he can afford. If the woman feels she needs something more than that, she can actually. But now, can the man say, or let me start this way, can the woman say that, okay, I understand the situation, and I would be willing to part with so amount monthly to support the home. Very beautiful. There's nothing wrong in that. Islam is not against it. And the woman should not spoil her righteousness by recounting her favors. Right? And reminding him all the time that you know you are useless. This is that support. Now, that's your soda is what? Is gone. Because you think actually, Yoruba will say, Obolashi, Abi, Ma Tulashi. Obe Bolashi, Ma Tulashi. Now, can the woman decide that I don't even need you to spend a dime on me? I only want to be my husband. As far as finances is concerned, I will take care of that. Islamically, if somebody gives up his or her rights, then it is no more an obligation on the person that is meant to give that right. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying. Since she, just like the case of our mother Sauda, that gave up her land and said it should be given to our mother Aisha. So the prophet is not committing any sin by not going to her room because she gave up that right. So the woman should not use that the case later and say that ask him, how much have you given me in the last 6 months? I don't know if you understand what you gave up your right. Now, can the man insist that in this system it must be a 50-50 you are working? It must be a what? 50-50. It's of two sides. Side number one, maybe the woman is actually compromising some of giving up some of her responsibilities that the man is what? Covering up for her in those areas. Then maybe they will reach a mutual agreement that you'll be covering up for me in this area, I'll be covering up for you in this financial aspect. If it's a mutual agreement, no problem. Can it be an imposition? No. But sisters, we are causing problems. Before we get in, we do tell these men that I don't want to be a liability. You gave me that impression that you can take care of yourself. It is a wrong statement to tell a man before getting married that I don't want to be a what? Liability. I always ask this question. Are you a liability to your father? She says no. Why are you not a liability to your father? Of course I'm his daughter. It's his duty to take care of me. The same way, you are not a liability to a man. It is his responsibility to take care of you. Don't see that being a liability. As long as you both sign the marriage contract, then he has agreed to the fact that he has to do what? Take care of you. So don't see it as being a liability. This terminology came out of these feminism issues and the likes and so on. Let us avoid this. And a woman talking about not being a liability before coming in, you know, by that time she does not understand the reality of marriage. Then when she now comes to 4th month, you know, she's still doing a box of I'm working in the ministry like our guy. Now, later when she realizes that if I remove transportation and everything, what is the meaning? Problem now sets in. Yalla,
I mean, the number of parents for that response. Specifically, I want to ask the second stuff. Could you give from a point of view of poverty mentality that these women actually even think less to 50-50? You already know you're supposed to do 100. Why are you coming with because of this or we have to do 50? Is it because they don't have money? Like if they have, would they even consider 50-50? Or why do they think like that sometimes?
I think strongly to the side of most men are capitalizing on the fact that women these days are coming with that mentality of I want to be happy. So they take advantage of it. And most women are coming with that mentality because many of us were trained with the mindset that you have to be independent. A man is not rubbish when you have the money. You know, you can't depend totally on a man, even though it is dysfunctional. That is coming from the cultural background of you know, you must have something or you should be doing something, otherwise you don't have value. You place so much value, you place the value of the woman, the wife, on the fact that on her finances. You know. So because of that, you're also coming with that. And then you are meeting with a man who perhaps also does not understand that what makes him the man is for him to hold on to all of this. You understand? So therefore, and then immediately, of course, anyone who gets help, whether by fire or by force or by, would obviously take it to all, you know. So you are coming with an not a liability, you cannot go to the marriage, you know, and then the man really doesn't want to do everything, so you now take it advantage of it. So when you now want to push, or when you now have people who understand how it should be done, then there's this whispering or this stereotype of the society that why should you be doing everything? After all, she works. Or if she's not working, tell her to get something new. You can't do everything, like don't be yourself, and only you be, you know. So even a man who perhaps, except of course it is firmly grounded on the, you know, the correct way of doing things, you say, okay, this is the way I want it. Even if she's working, I still have to. Now there's also this misconception of, just like the Shaykh has said that, many women should now make the mistake of planning the finances of the house on their own resources. A man has 100 naira, you plan on 100 naira. Now, if I want to do something a little extra for myself, I would cost him. That extra is from what I can do, especially when he has done the basics, he has done the fundamentals. Your husband has given you he has put you in a good place to sleep. He's giving you food, he has clothed, you know, all of that. You now want to go for girls' hangouts. You want to have a girls' retreat or something on the spa or whatever. That is luxury. You shouldn't now put on your husband's neck and say, that's what my mates are doing, because I'm going to shave me and what can the husband and do and that and that. So that is what you just want to do as an extra for yourself. If he decides to give you, what did I do? He's like, okay, yes, let me treat you to that. But it's not compulsory. So that's where you're open. Then again, of course, the part of you want to support. Because men are wired, the way they are is to look after us, to take care of us. When we take that part from them, we have reduced them to what we should be, women should be. So naturally, because you are doing what they should do, you will not submit. Because of course, unconsciously, your psyche will turn to, so what are you doing for me exactly? You're not spending for me, you're not, okay, sell this house, I can get the house. So that, all of it is a whole package on its own. If we hear cases where women will say, I relinquish my rights, and the man will say, no, even if it's 29, I still want to do it. So a man who knows that that is Trojan horse is a trap for a man to say that I give you of my own, you make this, and you choose to give it. So that because the day will come, it will backfire, we can't sustain. Just the same way you can't expect that the prophet has gone used to assist his wives around the house. You can't, that cannot be. It's not a one-off thing. You don't expect your man to go out, do all of what he has to do to maintain the family, and you expect him to still come and wash dishes for you. What's that? If you have to want to go out, fine. If you think that you are poorly and you are assisting, fine. But for you to think that your husband has gone to Lagos, traveling, everything, is coming back and they say, I'm on you to see where we're. It doesn't make sense. It's backfire.
So that's well, in summary, I would say that when we talk about men's financial responsibility, I think it's limited to the essential things that are in the home. It's not about you want to go on a girls' trip to Morocco and it's not able to provide that, but then providing food, is providing shelter, providing the necessary things you need in the house. I think that suffices. I'll give women now, feminists. So you went to school. While working, you have salary, so use your money to treat yourself. Don't kill your husband because you want to go on a trip to Morocco. So now my next question is a sensitive question. I had asked if I could go deep, and I was given the permission to. So now we're all on social media, yeah? And we saw this story that was going about one, I don't know what's called the man, but yeah, we all know about the literary man, yeah? So some persons were having a discussion. I'm not going deep into it, so I just want to pick something from it. Well, where do you leave this place now? Are you my dad? You didn't hear about it. Okay, I'm not talking about it. So, yeah, so I want to talk about sex in marriage, actually. So in the society, they talk about how important it is. But I feel like within the Muslim congregation, we tend to still shy away from it. And not that they say, let's talk, people still shy away from it. So I think what happened is this person was...
It's about somebody, a man in Equatorial Guinea, that was actually accused of sleeping with over 400 women. A majority of them are actually married women. Yeah. So some persons were having a conversation around it, some women were having a conversation around it, and then they said, okay, enough of the blame on the guy. Yes, what he did was wrong. But what could have made married women to do such thing? And somebody was trying to defend them to say maybe they're not getting enough attention, sexual attention from their husbands, because these people actually turned out to be wives of big people, politicians and all of that. Now, in this our own Islamic marriage, I think we need to let people understand how important sex is. Society already emphasizes on the importance of sex, but at what point do we let Muslim couples as well know how important it is? That is not just an exercise, it's probably an act of worship. Like it's something you do and you're supposed to be happy about. At what point do we do this, and how do we do it so people don't shy away from it? So my question is for Dr. Habeebu. Yes, let's start with you.
I think the first answer to that is that the fact that Muslims are Muslims, does it make them less human like the other people? I think the answer is no. So if the answer is no, does it mean that we are like every other person? Biologically, yes. Does blood and vein runs in our blood? Yes. Do we have natural desires? Yes. Do we have basic urges? Yes. Are these urges and desires supposed to be expressed? Yes. But in what manner? That's what makes us different from the other persons or the other people. Each time we want to talk about what Islam says about something and what the world thinks about it, I think the basic difference is what is the prescription for Muslim. That's where we pick ours from. what is the normal prescription for Muslims? We should not be thinking. In fact, most men or brothers used to think that sisters are complete angels. And most of this thinking is why we have majority of the problems that we have. Maybe I should say it again. Most brothers think that sisters are angels, especially when we see them covered. If we forget that they are humans, and all that they are trying to do is to make sure that whatever they are doing it in line with the prescription. For example, I'm a clinical psychologist, and I will tell you that the urges of women, the natural innate urges of women is times 4 of men. Should I say it again? I'm speaking clinical now. The natural urges of women is normally times 4 of men, except in exception of men that are in exemption. Am I confusing anybody? The natural instinct urges of women is times 4 of a normal man, except for a man that is created in an exemption. Do we get that statement? So, to now begin to think that the natural expression of men, that's how we think. We think we are the men. That's how women think. We think sexual play and love making starts and ends with us. We think that we are the person who owns what it takes to have sexual intercourse. I think that hypothesis is wrong. And if you go with that direction in mind, you come back with a lot of wrong impression. That's why most times when they go with this impression and they meet the women in the natural way the women are now, most men will have what they call conceived thought. I'm sure you don't understand me. Conceived thought. Thought that you will see from their eyes the way they are looking at you again after the first contact. Am I talking to people here? I've seen people who come to me and say, my husband is looking at me somehow. And I've seen husbands who have expressed to me what they think about their wife after that time. So we call it conceived thought. Thought that they had always had in their mind that this is how it is. But when they now get there, they now find out that they are the ones who have to meet up. They find out that they are the ones who have to shape up. They find out that they are the ones who have to make up. So that's how funny the sexual relationship between a brother and a sister is. Let me give you an example. On the first night, we divide it into 3. Sexual history, sexual pattern, and sexual manner. For those who have not had any sexual history, for brothers who have not had any sexual history, and for sisters who have not had sexual history, their sexual contact and thoughts are very funny. Are you getting me? For brothers who have not had any sexual history, they have not had any sexual contact before, it's meeting another brother, sister who had no sexual history. Their sexual expression on the first contact is always very funny. And I'm sure that all of us know that it's always very funny. Because they would have got a lot of tutoring. A lot of tutoring and explanation and explaining by other persons who have history. I've seen a brother who told me on the night of wedding, was asked, the sister said, he said, Ejo Boluwa, you don't get me. He said, Ejo Boluwa. And I said, what are you asking me? He said, me or money. And I said, we are going to, we are doing your wedding tonight and you're asking me a Jobolowa. So that kind of manner, you'll be sure that that person is a potential. Let me be seeing my sister's face. That person is going to mishandle that night. The possibility of that person making horrible the first night of that sister is possible. And it's not only that night only. It may spoil all of the sexual history that that person may live with. So that kind of person is the kind of person who may be susceptible. The question you ask me is what I'm answering now. That kind of person is the kind of person who may be susceptible or vulnerable to hearing the exploit, sexual exploit of the other person outside. Because if the person is hearing what others are saying, because the sisters talk among themselves freely, brothers will even make it like bigger issues among us. So when sisters talk about these issues among themselves, and this person is now looking at what is happening to my own, he has not seen any experience. He has not felt anything. He has not discovered any joy. He does not know what it feels like to say there's a sexual pleasure. He's only hearing from other persons. So this kind of situation used to make sisters to be vulnerable to this kind of situation. So what I'm saying is that there are so many sexual complications that a man is coming with and a woman is expecting. Most of the night, women don't express themselves on the first night. So they leave the exploring to the men. Most women, 97% of women will not come out on the first night. Because if they come out the way they are, that marriage will start having problems from that day. You see that the sister will serve food, and the man will say, Shame it by. The will be like, Shame what it down by. So many women cage themselves on the first night, except if the husband explores to the stage where the woman loses guard. So, for a person who is a virgin, a brother who is a virgin, and a sister who is a virgin, the sexual night is always different. The sexual experiences is always different. And there's likelihood that the man, the woman more than the man, most often don't have good history of the first night. So, what I'm saying is that because intimacy, sexual intimacy, is almost like more than 45% of what makes marriage. I should say it again. I've seen people from where I sit in my office that the husband does not have money to take care of the home. And the woman is satisfied. I say it again. I am a clinical person and I see a lot of, it's like when you are a mechanic and you have seen many cars in different situations. I'm saying what I know. I've seen many women who, when they are satisfied with a man emotionally in kind of intimacy, they often more than none weather all other troubles. Should I say it again? Or you are not getting me? That the probability of a woman bearing all other things when she's sexually satisfied or sexually realized is higher to stay in that marriage than you giving everything a woman wants and the woman is not sexually satisfied. The probability of that woman living is higher. So the issue of intimacy It's not something that we have to keep our mind and our mouth close to. So, we need to know what is about our women. You need to understand the physiology, the biology of your women. Even those who have multiple women. You cannot come with the same style. The style that you are having with one A, if you bring it to the other B, there will be trouble. So you have to know exactly what that person expects and what is the exotic part of that other person. What is the tolerating thing that the other person will tolerate? What is the thing that the person will not tolerate? You cannot superimpose what that person enjoys on that other person. So these are the things that we need to know. Intimacy is a bigger thing. In fact, it's a bigger box in marriage. And if you miss it, God helps you. It's not something that Muslims should keep their mouth close about. You must ask your women. Most men don't want to ask. And even when they ask, they don't want to be told the truth. When you ask them and say, there was a lecture that I married in 2001. And we went for a lecture of Abdurrahman, Imam, did a lecture that time, 2003 or something like that. Couples day that day. So he gave us the forms. Each form will have, we took form 11. So my wife will take form 11A, form 11B. So they asked us a lot of questions. And she was answering that question that was asking that question. So they now exchanged the questions for us to see what we answered. When we are going home, we did not talk from where we started till we got home. And when we got home, we didn't talk. So I think around maybe 8, we finished Isha that day. And I said, can we talk about this thing now? And I said, so you have all of these things in your mind, and you want to start telling King of... And I said to my software, now. If I had spoken to you directly, you would not have listened. You would have felt that. I said, I would have felt that. So now saying it on the form, how do you want me to feel? This form was not given to any other person, no. It was given to me. Mine was given to her. So even when we ask women, can we listen to the truth? Can we manage the truth when they say it? And we need to know it. Because that's the only way we can become better. The first time we will fumble. And they will bear us. They will tolerate us. They will just take us the way we are. It's better you know the scorecard and improve than to know the scorecard when they are angry. Because that time, even if they prepare food for you, your mouth will not eat it. So, speak to them. Speak about all the things about it. Be able to say, if they ask you now, what is the exotic part of your wife? You'll be looking at the woman. Some of us have been married, like me, I'm married about 27 years now. So if they ask me now about that time that they asked me, I didn't know. They said, can you say exactly the part that your wife would like you to do? And I was looking at it and I was thinking about it. I couldn't get it. You know, it's very embarrassing. Somebody that you have lived with for that long. So, but it's because of what you say. We don't like talking about it. And not speaking about it is the reason why many homes are breaking. Because what you are not speaking with her, she's speaking with somebody else. The attention you are not giving to her, somebody else is giving her that attention. Two things. Women love attention and women love the inner room. Every woman loves the inner room. If you mismanage the inner room, your home is sliding off. Intimacy is not something that a man should not know about. He must know about it. He must read about it. He must be PhD in it. Because you can actually use it to control your woman. It's a weapon that men must be able to use to control woman. When she's angry and you use the weapon, she will not go. Even if she goes to the house, she will still come back. I'm telling you, if you use it right. But if she's just managing you, the day she goes, that is the end of it all.
Yeah.
Many of us, our women, are managing us. That is the truth. I hope I've been able to speak about it.
Wallahi, you have. Like, I really appreciate your response. I like the fact that you did not mince words, because I was going to start with the fact that do we Muslims actually think we're immune to the things that are happening in society? But I like the fact that you established that we're the same, we're all humans, right? It's just that because of the Islamic values, we sort of have limits to these things. But there are times where we can actually fall short. So intimacy is very, very important. Abu Khadija, if you can do a seminar, especially on intimacy. So some of our marriages will not be destroying the way it is. So yes, to my next question, Abu Labeebah and Mr. Siddiqah, I wanted to answer this. So there's this thing with married couples, right? We sisters, we don't always want to hear polygamy. We don't always want to. That's when we remember that something. We don't always want to hear it. But then the men always have this, I don't know where they come up with the Rishi Sunnah, Quranic verses, that it is halal, it is kineka. My question now, I had someone who wanted to marry me as a third wife. And every time I ask him why, like, why? What else do you want? He has 7 kids, right? Even one man, one woman, they have 2 kids and they're like, we're done. So I'm like, you have 7 kids. You want to add me. So me too now, I'll do like 3 kids. You have 10. In this Nigeria nowadays, why? What is it you're looking for? That is usually my question. But then we have some sisters who feel like, me, I don't mind though. If he has money, if he can take care of me, I want to go into it. So I want you to answer from the point of, because when they were introducing you, they said you're married to 2 women. And I was telling...
That's why you chose me for the question.
I was telling the person sitting beside me that why did they have to say you're married with you? Like, you're married. But thank God they gave that information. So I want to know how you were able to do it, how you're still able to do it, and how you would advise these brothers. Nobody is saying you shouldn't marry more wives. But do we, as the first wives, need tangible reasons? In fact, do they need our permission to marry the second wife? I want to be clear. Right?
We need what?
Do they need our permission to marry that second wife? And then, Siddiqah, I want you to help us from the point of view of sisters who they're single and they're actually willing, they're happy. Like, you see, is that polygamy I want to marry into because the man has money, is going to take care of me, compared to a single guy who doesn't know where he's actually going to end up in life. So, yes, from Abu Labeebah.
I'm free, right?
Yes.
Okay. I will not say because my wife is here. I will speak. Now, actually, the reality is this. The issue of a man marrying more than a wife is not about being unsatisfied with the first wife. Any man that wants to go into polygyny, that is marrying more than a wife, as a weapon to deal with a previous wife, you are digging your grave. You can never be successful in it. You must have a pure intention. One of the things I tell anybody I want to marry is that I don't have problem with my what? Don't think I'm coming to you because what? I have problem. Wallahi, I don't have problem. My home is good. Now, the question will now be that, why do you now want? Because I am a man. Then what is it about being a man? Allah created man naturally to be polygynous. It is not just about, is that woman good? Men love things in varieties. That's just it. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying.
We don't understand. I'm sorry, we don't understand. Has it been scientifically
Hold on. I will tell you this.
All right.
I'm not done with my answer. Go and check the statistics. Most men, I'm not saying all men, most men that remain with a single wife is either having extramarital affairs, he has, side chicks that is satisfying himself with, or if he doesn't have those extra tires, if he doesn't have that, then he's only constraining himself based on the Islamic teachings that, if you don't have this, you can't do this. He's only being constrained. Or is manliness, like our doctors mentioned the other time. He doesn't have the power to satisfy even a single woman, let alone marrying more than. He will say, but in the natural instinct of a man, now, if he eats rice today, he will prefer a dodo tomorrow. Now, or today, if he eats rice, he will still want, not that he's not satisfied, he wants to top it with a dodo. I don't know if what I'm saying is, you are asking me this question to answer it as a man.
Yes.
And I'm answering it as a what?
As a man.
As a man.
As a man.
Get it? Now, for you to come into polygyny saying that you want to take the woman in, then it shows responsibility.
Yes.
Because what you want to achieve, now, the sexual issue, what have you, or the attention, as women loves attention, men loves care. He wants multiple people to care for him. Are you with me? And that's why you have some people paying more attention to their outside, what have you, even more than, because that one probably might have called him 10 times in a day. The wife at home, well, he just left home this morning. Why do I need to call him? Are you with me? So he's giving more attention to why? Because he loves care. Now, this man can enjoy this without bringing the woman in. Right? And if he doesn't bring her in, what does it mean? It means that no responsibility. To now bring her in, hold the bull by the horn, and say that you have to come in, and I want to enjoy both the assets and liability, then it shows being responsible and conscious of Islamic tenets. And that differentiates a Muslim from a non-Muslim. A non-Muslim might decide to, do it whichever way he wants to do it. But as for a Muslim, now, he wants to do it the way Allah wants it to happen. Allah created men, and naturally, He created them to be in need of more than a wife.
Yes.
This answer might not be satisfactory to women.
Sorry.
But actually, it's the reality.
Yeah, I also want to add to what the Imam has said, and I will be speaking from the point, like from the main view of it. Other than the fact that men are polygynous in nature, you understand? The reason why we also have to do it as a Muslim, wallahi, the real reason why we have to do it as a Muslim, as a man, is also because of our women. If you look at the statistics, since 2007, we have been doing this. Muslim singles, married, being their initiative, all that and all that. And I can tell you from the statistic, the number of women that are not married to the number of men that are not married, it's like 80 to 20 that are looking to be married. So if 20 of those men, you understand, are able, financially to marry these women, who is going to marry the remaining 60 women? Who is going to marry them? The non-Muslims, the unserious Muslims. You understand? People that are going to be beating them every day. So polygyny is actually a system that Allah has ordained because it works. And it gives the right to men, you understand, to do it because he's the one that created us. He knows what we need. And if you look at the Surah, you understand, and the prophets, how many of the prophets are married to one woman? How many of them? Even the Sahaba of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, how many in the history do you see that they are just with a woman? You understand? So the thing is, apart from it being natural, you understand, in a communal setup, like if you want to see it in the society, the advantage of being polygynous is even for women. Let me tell you, our statistic, it miss me. You see a lot of women that are, once they are above 30, it becomes difficult to be married. And I can tell you here, people can testify to it, how long they've been trying to get the attention of men to marry them. Even older men like this, I'm sure both of them are above 50. If they want to marry now, they are looking for women from maybe 20, 25. I have some of my friends that have made up their mind that they are not marrying anybody older than 30. And we are still around our 40 plus. And they don't want to marry any women that is, you understand? So who is going to marry those women, you understand, that are above 40, that are above 30? Who's going to marry them? That is not the only one. There are so many women that are divorced. Who's going to marry them? A man that has not been married before?
It's sunnah.
No, what I'm saying, yeah, it's sunnah. But how many men in our society want to do that?
Why are they not doing
your mom, your family will tell you, why should she be your problem? Why should you be your force? Why don't you marry Omoge force? As like, you want to marry Labeebah. Do you understand? Other than that, what about the women that are widow? Do you understand? How many families will accept their son for the first time to marry a widow? So these are the reasons why men have to do more than one wife. And men that are supposed to do it, they are the ideal men that understand that I'm getting married to more than a wife, not because of sexual satisfaction, but because I want to serve Allah. Wallahi, marrying a second wife is not an enjoyment for me. It's not an enjoyment. It's a responsibility, serious one. Like Imam said, you cannot do what you are doing with one wife with the other wife anymore. Immediately your life is being divided into two. If you're having two, if you're having three, it's divided into three. So you have to be this with her, and this with her. So it's serious responsibility. And for a man that wants to do it, that man must be very, very, strong in the head. Because you can't apply the same method to all of them. It has to be different. And even sexually, like he said, our own style must be different from our own style. Because they have different stuff that not entice them. So basically, really, for us saying that we want to marry more, it's an advantage to our women. Wallahi.
Sisters,
I'm telling you.
all said and done, I hope you are convinced and not confused.
Salaam alaikum.
So, sorry.
Salaam alaikum.
Sorry, sir. If you want to be convinced, if you want me to show you now, I can show you the statistic.
No, we don't want.
Salaam alaikum. I actually didn't go that line because of the way you asked the question. And that's why I answered it this way.
Yeah.
All that he said is captured in the article I wrote last year for Miss Me regarding, can you remember that? So regarding, what's it called? X-raying polygyny, something like that. It's still on with Miss Me website. Yeah, capturing the advantages of, what's it called? Polygyny in our society today. Because it has come, actually, Allah created it to solve problem. And when I said that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created men like that, now, because He knows that He created men like that, Allah created women in more numbers, multitudes, more than men. Are we together? So when this happens, if everyone decides to pick one, what happens to the remaining? What happens to them? A lot of cases come to us. When you have sisters above age of 30, like he said, very, very rare for you to see a single man to marry a woman at that age. He's already afraid. Because naturally, a man will want to marry someone, he can see that, yes, I have one level or the other of control over her. If he sees that this one is established already, and just starting my life, he will run away. Stature as well is part of it. Age is part of it, and so many others. Do we say this sister should commit zina? They can't. They have to go to the Islamic institution of marriage. So sometimes men might not, some will say, why don't they go for the widows? Why don't they go for the divorcees? Why are they going for the singles? The singles too are there in need of men. They are in need of men. As long as the man knows, now the thing is now with him, can you be just? Then can you be able to take care of them? If you can answer that, then it's with you and Allah. If you cannot, then don't try it yet. Wait till Allah grants you such capability. Yeah. But if you can, then you are encouraged. We encourage men that have such capability to actually go for this, because our women are suffering outside. Assalamu alaikum.
Sorry, I just want to, men are speaking, Abi. Men are speaking.
Yes, sir.
But I think the question that I'm seeing on the faces of the sisters is, why must he be your own husband? That's the first question that is on your face. The second question is, why must he be like you are marrying a young girl? That's the question many other people ask. Why not the older ones? If it's that they are the ones, why are you picking the ladies or the young girls that the other single brothers would have married? Those are the questions that people used to ask. So, but see, who gets older first, biologically? Who gets older first, but who attain adulthood first among both of them? Between the men and the women. I want answers now. Question. Women. Abi? There's a certain stage. There's a certain stage in maturity of a woman that by her relationship with you, she's your wife, but she's operating like your sister, elder sister. You are not feeling me. There's a certain stage in the lifetime of your wife. Those who are like 2 years, 3 years different to themselves. She'll be operating with you like she's your sister. Elder person, not that she's your wife anymore. And that's the way women are formatted. And we just spoke about sex just now. That sometimes when at that age, some of them will just tell you that that's some certain stages like that. You are the one asking the question and I'm providing the answers. So most men will not say, my wife just told me to cover me legbe. They will not come out and start telling you that my wife just told me to cover me legbe. And you don't expect the man to cover a lossibo me. Because he's still active. He's still very active. I am speaking from fact. The man is still very active. So he picks up somebody else who takes a little bit of stress away from that other person. But the question now is that, money you or what you fellow me? How do you now manage the auto to atele? Those are the questions that women normally would ask. And that's why I think the man should do more justice. Sincerely. But that men marry because ojú wọn ò lè gbébì kan. I think it's just few of us that do that. I'm married to 2 wives. When I married my first wife, I married a doctor, and I felt that my Lord she called Dosunmu. Manda wale fumami. And I was telling they were like, "Oju e fotele ni, maton fe." When I wanted to marry my second wife, I've said this here before now. I still married a doctor. I still married a doctor. So if I'm now saying that doesn't it sound stupid? It sounds stupid. So it must be some other things than beyond kumbele, kunjoko. But I'm just saying that women should stop seeing it like sincerely. Holding 2 persons in a home is a big task. You are not in that show. It's a big task.
Wallahi.
Beyond finance.
Wallahi.
You format one side here to deal with one. Format another side here to deal with other one.
Wallahi.
And both of them must not jam at the same time. Wallahi. It's not easy. It's not easy. I know I could still be but that some of us are still doing it honestly. We shouldn't be saying like, no. Some of us are doing it sincerely because the person who is involved, to wanle, ta lo fe yen, ta ba fe, to de genere, o de wa nínú circumstances te pe o wa yen, kò bá burú jù yẹn lọ. So I think it's not the issue whether the reason that I fe won, but what women are asking us is to do it right, and that we don't now see that Ariya Oko Yale. When those ones now come in, we now begin to now see the younger ones and praise the younger one more than the older one. My answer to the people is that the woman should just calm down. If your man just married a new wife, but if you have patience, 2 months. But if you begin to do all of those, might do 2 months. The only mistake that the first wife used to make, like you said, they drop guards. They drop their guards in defeat. They don't become attractive anymore. They stop taking care of themselves anymore. See, when you take care of yourself and you still wear your bomber shorts and you still do when she's sleeping in that place, you come in the afternoon to your house to say, because of what I'm missing. But they have left you. You are looking bereaved. You have condescended yourself to Uncle Family. They will leave you for more than 2 years. So that's the language. That's why when I speak for the man, I also speak for the women. I think what the women need us to do more is to respect the Yale as Yale. No, that's not Yale. You should still respect her more and be considerate of her feelings. Most of the time, we are not considerate of her feelings. Sometimes they will hear on the internet that the husband has gone to do, or in fact, everybody will know on the street that the husband is getting married, except them. It's not good enough. Kind of you are in a position here, we won't like it. So if it could see, let us take it and correct ourselves. But I will not do it. Forget about it. We'll still do it. Because it's an obligation that we need to do. So maybe we should speak of the sisters.
So,
Allah make it easy for us.
We don't have any other. You said it all. But what I just want to speak from what you said, and I appreciated that all 3 of you acknowledged that, is I think the approach in which it is done and the fact that men need to be empathic. You cannot say because you have the right to do it, you do it carelessly or in a very insensitive manner.
Yeah.
So the problem with women now, I think we've gone past the stage of, is it sunnah, did Allah really permit it, is there a but and all of that. We're now at the stage of, fine, you want to do it, but can you do it like a responsible and reasonable person? So we are begging our brothers, if you want to do it, Edre for Koloshe. Siddiqah, now from the sister side, just address us a little bit about sisters that are actually willing to go into it, what they need to look out.
Okay, first I would say that if you feel like, or you are inclined towards polygyny, you want to marry somebody who already has wife or wives, don't make the mistake of asking, why do you want to marry me? That's the first mistake women make. You want him to lie to you. You want him to tell you she has a problem. You want him to say, you want to feel justified that you want to go and correct something. Yeah, at least you've heard partially now from the men. Sometimes they don't have reasons. You know, because see, if he doesn't have a wife, he'll probably tell you, oh fine, go shaking it. But if you want to be a subsequent and he says you are fine, you're not saying, yeah, well, you're fine. So what reason are you looking for? You want to justify that, hey, she's bad, there's something she's doing, you want to now use me. So don't make the mistake to ask. What should be your focus is, does it meet your specifications? Is it somebody that you can submit to? Is it someone that you find attractive? Someone you can call your husband? Does it meet up with your own? Asking why, yeah, it will lie to you. And when they give you that lie, when you find out that it's a lie, you'll be more hurt. Because you are riding on that to give your acceptance. So yes, what you should be about is he able to do it? Is he the one actually financing his house? Not that his wife is the one. You understand? All of the fundamentals. Your own marriage contract, you face it. What do you want to do with your life? How do you want to build your marriage? Not so much about permission here, no, not all of that. What exactly do you want to do with your own life? How do you want your marriage to be? Not so much about who the person or the people, already existing. When there's a man talking to you about marriage and he's bad-mouthing his wife or wives, run 440. As in run the other way and run. Just run away because they are lies. If, for instance, he's telling you that, she's this, she's it, just know that it's disaster. And eventually you get in the same position that those ones are in. You are also going to join them. So yes, go in sincerely. If he's able to, just know. Find out, like I said, is he able to? Does he have means of livelihood that you can join into? It's not that some people, they are doing 50-50, I'll be 70-30. Where will your own enter? Then, of course, the kind of relationship that you're going to build, there are some people that will tell you that you people don't have to know yourselves, or I'll keep you somewhere quietly, and then later, and then, just like you said, that some people, they will announce the news get to them on the internet, or somebody will just call them that, So yes, fine, they don't need their permission, but she should be in the know. You don't have to attend you don't have to be in her face. You don't have to prove that you are better. Who says you are better? Just know that you want to marry a man who has perhaps been destined for you too as your husband. It doesn't mean that you are bringing something that is better than somebody else. When you come with that attitude, you fail. You fail because obviously the man will not tell you. I know of a situation where the woman on the day of her nikah, a week to her nikah, she called it off. Why? Because she attended an event where the husband and the existing wife were. And she said, she love, so one love around. And she called it off. Like, okay, so all of these are erroneous. Then the fear that many of us have is that, something that has been prescribed for us, that is injunction. Whatever Allah has enjoined on us is correct, is good. We, the practitioners, may be having problems, we may be struggling, we may be doing rubbish, but whatever. And that's all of these points that have been brought for women. Okay, take for instance, professional women. We want more female doctors, we want more female this, but really, if we are to look at the schedule of the work for professionals, can they be fully functional at home and be fully functional in the workspace? Can we meet up? No. So at least if you are sharing days, like it will be in polygyny, you have a bit of time, you have flexibility. I can go to the hospital and conveniently say that I'm seeing a female doctor. Nobody will force the female doctor to leave her work because her home is suffering. All of that, because that's what he has. So, but how are we practicing it? The fear we all have is that we are doing more of cultural polygyny than sunnatic polygyny. Sometimes we are not fighting for the basics. For instance, a man wants to marry you and he wants to force you into the same apartment with the existing wife. Problem, Marshall. The one they are following did not force every woman in the same house. They were in close proximity, yes, for the benefit of everybody. But once you are forcing, see finish my war, our individualism will be crushed. Somebody's marriage that is supposed to start will only continue another person's marriage. That's why you get to the house and they'll say, it's a problem. They'll treat you like a child. No. So the issues you are supposed to deal with. Okay, yes, I hope my apartment. You existing wife. Please, okay, no problems. So that barest minimum of friction. These are the things. Are you going to work? Are you going to do this? The main issues. Not me, mama joko see front seats. All these useless things that we fight over. Tabanja de mini latest, so she majoko see front seats. Abisha mi majoko see lanes neonas corner. All this nonsense that causes unnecessary rubbish. Then as a person, are you secured? Are you secured by yourself? If you are a person that you are not by yourself, your 2 feet are not, don't go near a married man. Just leave them and their life. Don't go and dabaru their life. Some of us are not secured. We are not well aware. We are not. Everything about us is problem. Even as a sibling, you fight everybody. Now you want to go and no. What do you have? So if you want to go into this, look at the man. Look at the existing marriage. Look, be sure that you are able to. Nobody say we are not going to be jealous. Our mothers, the best of the women, our leaders in gender, the Kudratila, they did all of that, but they did it within the limits. They didn't go overboard. They didn't wish death for another person simply because they are all married to the same man. Some of us go overboard. And that's why if you are not sure of yourself, because the way we are too emotional. Some of us even the man you claim you love, that you would have destroyed him before you opened your eyes. That's what you hear about women killing the husband or killing a co-wife because what? So be sure that you are able to, because it's not for the lily-livered. You are going to have to help the man. Most men too are, just like they have said, it's not easy. They are freestyling too, most of them. It's not as if, especially for those who have never been married to more than one before, they are also getting into and they are waiting, trying to. So when we now come with our wahala, women, we know we are special beings. Our diplomacy, politics here, tactics here, antics here. You now put him in the middle. The Shaykh, the first session, he said something the other time that and I could relate, with it. Because when you see a man outside and you see him holding it on, you don't know what he's dealing with. Especially if he has more than one. Like they've said, you are dealing with multiple personalities. A man, and he has to remain sane in the middle of all of it. So yes, you may want to wonder that, why do you want to? Don't ask too much of that. Does it meet up with your spec? Are you ready for it? Do you think you can also bear it? That's okay. Because there are sometimes you will make mistakes too. Can you overlook some of these mistakes and not think, because he has done this for me, he should go and die. All of them should go and die. All of you and his wife and his children, everybody should just go and, are you able to still manage that? Okay, this man, he will struggle, I'll also do things, or they will even do things, or this woman will also outrightly come for me. Can I manage my emotions? Can I regulate? Am I sure that they will not do something else? Because truly, if you want to go in as a subsequent, the initial or those before you, they have more advantage than you. Even if they've been married just one day before you, they have more. They are the ones that have, when the man was crude, they were the ones there with him. They refined, so to speak. Now, this refinement I'm talking about, it doesn't mean that they are the financially. No. When the man was gray, he didn't know anything about marriage. They were the first people. So maybe part of what you see and is attractive to you, the first woman had to deal with before that refinement happened. So they have edge. And that we just accept it. Don't think that because we are the same. You are not the same. Oh. You are not the same. Don't deceive yourself. She will always know his mumu body more than you. She has the advantage of years. She had a lot of advantage over you. So just cool down, calm down. They say that even those who cry, even when we cry, we see. Just calm down. Know your husband on your own terms too. Then the mindset of competition it ends in disaster. You can't compete, except if you don't know yourself, except if you don't have a personality, except if you are not sure of yourself. But to think that you want to compete, he saw something differently in you that made him come to you. So to now think you want to be doing like so and so, clash mashele. Then the man will now look that there's a problem. So do your thing, be yourself, and that's why you need your space, so that you remain you. Then some of the mistake that some of our men to do is, you want to force unity. You want to force that I'm in control of my home. All of that, also again, disaster. Because you have to leave the two women or the many women, give them their pace for them to adjust. As much as the initial is struggling, those coming to are struggling. It's just that people think that is more on those that are in the existing ones. You think they are the only ones dealing. The one that's even accepted you that, yes, it's not because they already know you are married. They also are dealing with some insecurities. There are sometimes they want to think, will I ever be good enough like the first one? Especially when they see that, yes, your marriage is solid. There's nothing wrong. There's that feeling of, can I measure up? They may not say it. They may not speak it. So you have to be able to manage a balance between, sometimes you want to compensate your existing, you overcompensate at the expense of the one, because you say she's still transitioning, she's still struggling, she still overdo it to the point where she will see that and then again, it may be when the one that is shocking you, you forget that one is, so there's that level, high level where you have to be able to manage. No one should bully pepper anyone. If you think you are the fresh one now, you are shacking them. They have told you the truth. You will shack until you get to a point that shacking will fade. So I will now come to reality. So it's important for each and every. You too. What are you? Why are you going into it? Do you want to go and pepper somebody? Do you want to go and show that you are better? I'm show it. I'm away. It's not by that. With that, are not kawe. She will finish you because she knows him more than you. Then again, there's the part where you now get in again. There's this part where they want to force friendship. Caution again. Caution because you may not know the extent of the relationship with the husband. You may just become a tool, a pawn to punish the man. So again, you have to be vigilant. So you see what I said? You have to be by yourself. You have to be firm. You have to be sure of yourself. Your strength of character, it has to be on point. You have to be discerning. Because sometimes they'll just unconsciously into what you don't know about. And when they finish using you, they'll discard you. Because you are the newest one, you'll be the easiest one to be discarded. They've been struggling with somebody for a long time. They already know how to. You are the one that, I cannot be doing too many wahala at the same time. Let me remove this newer wahala. So of course you have to be the same. So you need to know yourself too. What am I coming into this for? What exactly? What value? Again, the cliche of what are you bringing to the table? Yes. What exactly? If you decide that you want to leave today, what is the man going to miss? Then that thing that you saw, are you going to be able to work more on it? Are you truly going to be another companion? Or you're just going to be a problem? So all of these too, is appealing to you, yes. But are you ready for it? There are sometimes they'll frustrate the living daylight out of you, consciously or unconsciously. Will you be able to manage? Is your communication skills, is it top notch? It's not everything lama daru, lama dasija. Because there are some things that you'll be looking at it like this, but it's not what it seems. It's not what it looks like. It may seem as if they are favoring somebody over you, but it's not so. But are you able to farabale and see that it's not so? Or you say, no. Then there are sometimes they keep information from us. Why? Because they want to protect us. But we don't understand because we think, hey, until the veil is lifted and you see it. So yes, there's a lot. There's a lot for anyone who wants to go into it. Pray for him. Help him to do right. If you see him tilting on your side too, caution him. Because it's the Prophet ﷺ said that you help your brother, whether it's the oppressor or the oppressed. If he's the oppressor, help him. Except you don't care so much for him that on the day of reckoning, you'll be resurrected half paralyzed. If they are tilting too much on your side, then know that you are causing problem for him. There are going to be situations where you cannot hold on to rights. Are you ready for that? There are going to be emergency situations where you have to let go and look away. Why? Situation you bank rights. You can't have your right 100%. A man has to break himself, depending on the number of wives you are, in that number of spaces to fulfill everybody's rights. Now, let's imagine a man who has other responsibilities. So, it's not, you people are not the only person sharing him. You have to share him with other parts of, So, how much of empathy are you going to show, even to the man? There are situations where you have to look away for your co-wife. Why? Because situation a child is ill, or she herself is ill, and you are still insisting, today is my day, you must come. Abba. Will you want the same for yourself? So a whole lot, before you now delve into it. It's not that a happening person, or this man has money. It's beyond money. This man may have money, but is IQ, is he up to it? Is he going to even be the one that will be causing problems in between all of you? There are some men that are like that. So you'll be the one causing. So again, have you seen him well? Can you see him clearly? Some people think as long as I have money, women are properties. I come acquire money. When I'm tired of one, I remove one again, put another one. So again, don't get into trap. Be sure that you know much, you have enough knowledge. Consult widely. Don't say, Kimbal or Sofa and other sisters, come back by mom in law. Consult, there's a lot going on field these days. A lot. Ask questions, real questions, correctly. Know that this person, then they said something about third party the other time. Let them tell you who went the die is cast. You can report them to. Everybody must have somebody that can say, Shaykh, Kai. If they don't have, run. No matter how old they are. So that you don't go and put yourself in a prison and hand your keys over to somebody that nobody else can collect the key from. Don't sell your family. Don't say because you have seen man with money, you sell your family. Hey, the day they will show you pepper, there's nowhere to run back to. So largely, that's the only way I can summarize it for each and anyone. Stop thinking that men are enjoying in polygyny. First wives, take it easy with your husband. A man who is destined to marry more than one will not stay on one. The more you fight him, the more you push him into the hands of other women. Except you don't care enough for him so much that you should do it the right way. Go and buy Polygyny with Mercy. He's a brother that wrote it. He's a lawyer. He's a counselor. Go and buy it. Give him to read it. Let him be preparing himself if he's inclined to it. When you want to fight strategically. Stop saying me onigba, but tell the real ayewa ototoni. If there's a promise that he's not even done before, remind him. Let him settle you so that you can be a bit comfortable. Stop fighting aimlessly. Sometimes when we fight this fight, they will not go and jump into fire. They will not even look at, because it raises the rebellion in men. Oh, Tobe. Okay. He will now show you that it's Tobe, and then you go and bring Fijabi for you. So yes, it is tough, no doubt. But how do we go about it? What are things that we're going to do to make it a bit easier? Let's explore that. Let's have these conversations. They are difficult conversations, but let's continue to have it. Let's open it up. When sisters come to me that my husband has said, stop fighting. She wants to buy a new place. Are you, let's talk about correctly. Sometimes when you have these conversations with the men, Is this conversation that will now make him see that, me is ready? Because maybe before he wanted to force you people in the same apartment and you insist that you should get, then he will now know that, and he will pipe down. But when you're saying, they'll just bring her home for you like cats, a pet. So may we beg him for safety and help.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Jazakallah khairan. I appreciate the angle that you brought it from. To round up this particular segment, I just want to talk to our sisters again. We complain about the second wife coming in and wanting to lord over or acting in a very irresponsible way. But who are these sisters? They are amongst us. We are the same second wives that were complaining that we don't want, right? We've talked to the men. They promised to be responsible. You that you are coming, how are you coming? How exposed are you? Are you coming to cause fight, like she said? Or you just want to come and marry your own husband too? The man that has promised to be responsible and will take care of multiple wives, he will do his part. So you too do your part. Don't come and be the terror Sunday Dagbori in another person's marriage. You will not enjoy yours as well. It means that you yourself are not being empathic. So it's a tripartite relationship. The men will do their thing. The first wife will be patient. You, the second wife as well, you have to act responsibly and reasonably because it could be you. When the third one comes, then you're the one that has been existing. So at the end of the day, the table keeps turning around. So to just round up this segment because of time, I want us to, I just want in few minutes, all of the panel members to address the issue of in-laws or family boundaries when it comes to marriages. A lot of us as sisters were always very, how would I start relating to my in-laws now? And all of that. And then unfortunately, we have some men that are not mommy's boy, or how do they put it? Rather than them supporting you as the wife, that I know you're a stranger in this family, but don't worry, I'm going to be protective of you. Some of them just leave you. And they allow the family to actually pry into personal matters, and then you're just there being insecure. You don't know how best to react. For instance, you have issues having children. It's supposed to just be you and your husband, right? That would know what you're dealing with. But then the husband is going, yeah, what me learning problem at the hospital? What is up? And then you're just putting her out there. How do you protect your wife in a marriage? And I'd say from the sisters' angle as well. Because we sisters sometimes, when we see our mom, our sisters, our aunties, we're quick to just keep saying, my husband did this, my husband did that. And I think one of the speakers earlier said it. You can forgive your spouse after you've settled everything, but your family will not. They will continue to hold on to the day you said Easter, the day you said this and all of that. So how do we set boundaries? I know that Yorubas also say that when you get married to a family, right? That's the societal point of view. But yes, I'm getting married to your family, but how do I still feel protected, even when I'm trying to build a healthy relationship with your family members? So in just few minutes, kindly help address this because of time. I'll start with Labeebah, if that's fine.
Alhamdulillah. This is a very sensitive one and very important. As sensitive as it is, a lot of men, it's two ways. From the side of men, a lot of men fail in protecting their wives. They make their wives a prey to their family. You know, they just prey on her, you know, they draw this on her, and you will feel that, no, she should face it. No. Allah called men generally qawamun. When we say qawamun, it's not about, you don't talk about qawamun only when you are talking about, see the number of meat you are giving me. Now, I'm a qawam, I'm a qawam in this house. No. A qawam is a protector. You are protector of women. Men are generally protectors of women. You know, specifically Allah did not say al-azwaj qawamun an-nisa. Now, He didn't say husbands are protectors of their wives or thereabout. Allah said men are protectors of women. Generally, a man must have that instinct that a woman must be protected by me. Whether you know her or you don't know her, you must not allow any injustice or pain or what have you to fall on her. She gets afflicted with any form of problem or thereabout. Then now talking about your wife. That's more closer. That's closer to you. You protect your wife from your family. There are some issues of what's it called? The Yale system, this and that, everybody come to. You know, a lot of things, a lot of scenario come out of that becomes uncontrollable. You as the man, Allah has blessed you. Then say that I don't need any Yale to I will employ the service of cooks. Cooks should come and now, because women, we are married to wives and not slaves. Let's understand this. Because the way we treat some of them at our family levels just look like you have gotten another slave. So, and when the family is coming with it, you should be intellectual enough to handle that so that it doesn't create an imbalance in the system. Don't tell your family things about your wife that will make them detest her. You will be at the receiving end later, because you will never like the way they will treat your wife. Somebody is coming to your wife, to your house, and is talking blah 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 to your wife, and to the extent of even slapping your wife, and you are just looking, and you are a kawam, then you are not man enough to get married. You shouldn't give room for all this. And you caused it. And that's the same imbalance we are creating in our polygynous homes too. Because we don't have the stomach to keep things. You say different things. You take the issues of this. The issues of this, our women are minor. We are mostly the cause of imbalance in our homes. Because some men cannot keep the privacy of their wives. And when this one hears this about this, she uses it as a weapon, as a tool against the other. So when you are upright, your home will be upright. When you are upright with your wife, your family too will respect your wife. And at the same time, sisters too, do not sell your husbands cheap to your family. Don't forget it is you they love. They don't know him. You brought him to them. It is whatever you now say about him that will now put his love in their hearts. If you say negative things about, they will never like you. It is you they like. And naturally they will be defensive of you. So we need to be very, very careful. I said it in the morning session, that when you keep saying things, you are saying those things with emotions. You are saying those things you don't like about him. You are not actually saying things you like about him. And those things that you are not saying that you like about him are those things that will make it easy for you to forgive him. But they don't know those things about him. When you now forgive him, it will not be easy for them to forgive him. By the time they turn back, you will not like a lot of divorces that came up to today is not that it is the wish of the lady to leave her husband's house. Sometimes not the wish of the man to leave the woman, but it has gone beyond their levels and gotten to the level of the what? Of the families. And they took over the entire situation. Who caused it? We caused majority of all this. Our mothers, they are very key. You as a man, your mother is your number one after Allah. After Allah, your mother is your number one. Don't allow your wives to ask you, between me and your mother, who do you love the most? And you now say, how can you be asking me? You know it's you now. Never give room for such a question. Because you need to tell her that she will also become a mother-in-law tomorrow. How would she feel if a daughter-in-law is asking her own son, your own son, that who does she love? So all this, we shouldn't give room for it. When issues come up between our mothers and our wives handle it with wisdom. It requires wisdom. I always say something. Mama is always right. In the eyes of Mama, you have your wife to plead with later. Now, even if you can see that Mama is what? Is wrong at this point. You will tell your wife, one of them bagbalagbaja. Bagbalagbaja. At that moment, don't disgrace your mother. Hey, she is your Jannah. Manage that situation. When you now get inside, if it is to beg your wife, in fact, promise her heaven and earth, I'm sorry, I know what Mama did is, do that secretly. And honor Mama right there in the public. This is quite very, very important. If you now want to correct Mama, don't let it be at that point. Don't let it be in the presence of your wife. You can now talk to Mama later that so you know how to address Mama later. But if you want to say that she's my wife, my mother can subhanallah, your Jannah is at stake. If you are living with your mother and your wife in different apartments, when you are coming home, please go and greet Mama before you go to your wife. Go to Mama, say, Mama, I'm back. Now go home. Don't even drop your bag before you go there. Before Mama will tell you that you have placed your wife above your mother. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah.
This is also a very sensitive question, and I think I will answer them like my brother answered it. I think three key things are important. You must be a diplomat. You must know how to play diplomacy. You must be a good soldier. You must be a good soldier. You must be able to enforce when you need to enforce. Then you must know how to play politics. Those three things, you must be able to play it. More importantly, is to identify with each of their emotions. First, for a female, you are the one bringing her to that house. You understand all of the dynamics of your house very well. She does not understand. So I think at that point in time, you are the one who owe her that protection. You need to. Unless that's where your marriage will first of all start dying. For your mom and your wife, I think a person has to be very diplomatic about it. You have to be diplomatic. What you give to your mother, don't mention it to your wife. What you give to your wife, don't mention it to your mother. Most times when you want to send something that is full stuff and it's not envelope, send your wife to go and give your mom. Don't give your wife an envelope that has money to go and give your mother, because it will become an issue later. What you want to do is to make sure that if she's taking those things to your mom will start liking her. But if you give her an envelope and one day she asks you for something, she'll become issue. So you have to be able to do a little bit of diplomacy. Then identify with her own importance. She has her own importance too. Check which of the parents, I'm sorry for the word I want to use, is more likely approachable. Check the one that will help you to scatter the issue when there are issues. Check the one who will help you when you have issues. More of the time, learn how to manage the father-in-law. Is your alpha person. Is your alpha. Because as you want to protect, she wants to protect you. So it's always better to work with the opposite person, the mother of the woman. If you are able to work with her very well, she will help you tame the father of the girl. These are things that if you do them right, you get protection from. your family people, keep them in check in your home. They shouldn't be like they enter anywhere in your house. No. And it must be you saying it, not your wife. The limitations that are in your house is not to be spoken by your wife. It's you who should lead in those limitations. Then the things that you do, that you know that is between you and your wife, don't be the one broadcasting it. Let me give you an example. I used to lecture at LASU. When I married my first wife, I knew that she won't have chance to nurse our children. And when I was doing lecturing, I knew that both of us won't have time to lecture our children. So when I wanted to leave lecturing, I didn't tell my parents that I wanted to leave because my wife was not going to have chance to nurse our children. Because if I had said so, they would have seen her like the one who wanted me to make that decision. I was the one who wanted to make that sacrifice. And I was the one who made it like the person who wanted to leave. Up till now, they always tell me that if you had been lecturing, you know. So don't make your wife look like she's the one controlling you. Even when decisions, both of you are the ones making those decisions. Don't let them know that you are both of you are the one. Let's own those decisions. Protect your women from the mistakes that they make. Don't talk about it. Correct them inside. Don't scream at them. Don't bring them down. And don't talk them down outside. Manage their emotions. Women's emotion is topsy-turvy. When they are happy, the whole of the house will be happy. When they are sad, pretend that you are sad. Even if you are not sad, pretend that you are sad. Don't let them see that it is when they are sad that you are happy. When they are sad, pretend that you are sad. You won't have problem with them. When you are happy and they are happy with you, be happy. When your happiness brings sadness, let your happiness be sad. Throw the happiness away. Be sad with them. Don't be the ones whose emotion defines the home. Don't bring anybody inside their home without discussing with them. Don't say, don't do that. Because most of the time, our women will clothe themselves outside. When they come in, that is the only place. That's the only space that they have. So when you now bring somebody in again who keeps them, you are creating tension in the house. Before you bring anybody in, at least let them give their consent. Manage whatever they say. One day they will get them to say, oh, yeah, bring the person in. Don't impose anything on them. Do what they like. Laugh when they laugh. Smile when they smile. I'm telling you, you will live longer. You will live longer. And you'll be happy. So, that's what I think we should do. Help them. Help them. They don't have, the only weapon that they have is mouth. So, when they use the weapon, I understand that's the only one that they have. Help them to do what you need to help them with. Some of the chores that we make that is their own chores. My sister is here. And she knows that when I say help, I help my wife in everything. I carry the children. I raise them. I nurse them. I used to say that if my wife made the mistake of saying that she wants to go to court and have the custody of the children, she will fail. Because right in front of them, the children will say, on your own level. So, nurse, be there for your children. That's the issue of saying that it's not true. I have children that you can confirm from. And I can tell you that when you ask them, they will tell you where something will land. So, be there for your children. Don't be an absent parent. Don't let it be a wonikon. When you give your wife money, let your children know that that source of money is coming from you. Don't be like They are the ones giving them everything. This is where men used to kill themselves. Say, I'm the one who brought that thing home. And so say it. Say it. Some of these things are the reasons why we are behind. Your daughter, naturally, you should not be struggling with your wife, with your daughter. Your daughter is your own, except if you lose it. Your daughter should be your weapon, your mass weapon of making sure that things in your home are safe. But most men has even lost that one. If they want to say anything about me in my house, even my wife will send my daughter out. Says, because when they say it in front of them, Tunde-Lawal will call me and tell me straight. So make sure that you are good to your children. Make sure that you are good to them. Be there on PTA. Make time for them. Don't say ya one law. Because these are the things that we do wrong as Okumi. And that's why we are where we are. Let us be there for our children. Let us be present when they need our present. Let us spend money when they need us to spend money. Let your wife feel you when you are there. When she's cooking, don't just be like you are the one eating the 5 meat only. You too, before she comes back home, make the food. These are the reasons. Let your women know that you are not home when you are not home. Not that they will say, everybody is happy. That's what I think that men of today have lost. So that's my own advice. Men, please let us do the needful. Let us love our wives. Let people call us and skirts. They call us skirts. They call us Scotlanders. It doesn't matter. If you love your wife and she loves you back, I am telling you, she will do anything for you. Anything. I was talking with some people. I said, people say, I married doctor. I married clinical. I said, I don't have any cooperative. My sister, I don't have any cooperative. I don't go and borrow money. When I need to borrow money, if I say I need 4M today, I say, you borrow me 2M. You borrow me 2M. 4M will pay in my house immediately. If they don't see me as important, and I don't carry some of their shoulders for them, and I'm not there for them when they need me, they will not do it. So I'm saying that for us who are men, don't let us use our hand to destroy our homes. Don't let us destroy our homes by ourselves. We love our parents, they love us. We don't need to struggle for that one. This one, we can struggle with it. Protect your wife. Be there for her. Show her love. Call her good names. Buy things for her. And I say, spend money. Women love money. Spend it. Spend it. The one you have spent yesterday has gone with yesterday. So let us keep spending it and making sure that we don't leave them at any time. Please, keep your home safe. Don't say everything to your friends. Everything that you do, don't tell your friends. Don't tell them. They'll be the one to destroy your home. Don't tell them. Whatever you do with your women in the house, don't tell them. Don't tell them, keep it away from them. Your mother, don't say everything to her. When she comes to your house, keep those things that you do with your wife away until she leaves your house. Don't think that she's not seeing it. When she makes it issue. So let us know what to keep as issues when they are in. And what to open when they are around. And when they are not around, let us be ourselves. Please. Let your children see the definition of love from how you do with your mother, with your own wife. So that by the time they are treating their own wives too, they'll say, this is how my daddy used to do. Don't fake anything. Don't fake it. Let them know that you love their mother and they will love you too. Don't struggle. That's what I think we should do. That is my own advice. Men are the ones I will speak to. Because if push come to shove, Ijo alewa, àwọn la máa suffer jù. Ọjọ́ alẹ́ wa, àwọn la máa suffer jù. And that time, the man bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí pé ká máa rántí dáadáa that day when we will not be strong anymore. When the alliance, the real alliance, are formed, and we'll be outside, cold. So don't let us destroy that time. And it is that judgment day. It's a judgment day. So we must say, listen, worry, me must feel, so don't, because of that day, let us be mindful. When we are strong, when we are healthy, when we have money, let us use them right. For that day that we will not have the strength. And it will be us and them in the house. My wife used to say, I would say, I said, you know, some of this joke is how they feel sometimes that they are saying it. Because you know, when they say, oh, the baby baking and the baking, oh, the baby baking, I'll be okay, my worry. Time to pay, oh, you pay, and I'll be the one to answer baby pay. Your children would have gone. And it's happening now. We are at the stage, Abu. We are at the stage now. We are clocking almost 50 something now. We are seeing the handwriting on the wall. The children are going. You and her are the ones. And that's what I'm saying, babe. At that time, she will not be taking others. So you'll be begging at that time. Oh, the job is shown there. How does it help me? So what I do? Go and make my food. Oh, the job is shown there. No matter. So please, for that day only, don't destroy your home. That day, if you just think about that day only, men, don't destroy your day. Unless, when they do the jackpot, you'll be reading the newspaper only, on the bank only. If your wife loves you, she will not leave you for any children. If you have protected her when she needs protection, she will not leave for anybody. When she goes, she will say, "He must die." And when she is there, she will say, but if you have done it when you are strong, you will see the result too. That is my advice.
Talking from the angle of women, first thing I want to say is that bulk of the challenges we have with our in-laws is that we want to compete. We want to do power tussle. We want to say, it's now in my own hands. I'm the one in control. First thing I want us to remember as women is that especially most of these issues is usually with our mother-in-laws. And they say that the paradise of the man lies at the feet of his mother. Our own paradise lies at the feet of our husband. So if the one that's his own paradise lies at the feet, he's struggling, which paradise do you want to enter? So let's look at everything. Let's view it from that lens. Again, there are some men who are genuinely struggling. Their mothers are their tests, whether we like it or not. They themselves know that their mothers are a handful and they are struggling. So you know when you a stranger, the one that they gave birth to themselves, unsure. So who are you, a stranger that they brought into the equation? So we have to just tread carefully. In places where you have direct interactions with them, you know that a human sin long lara warning. Extra patience, extra perseverance. You know now every minute details you go and be telling your husband so that your husband and she can have face off. There are some things you don't even need to tell your husband, especially when you know you are in a hostile situation where you know that, okay, outrightly. Yes, if your husband is, especially when you see that he's also doing his best to protect you and all of that, they cannot do the 100% protection. There are sometimes you'll be left at their mercy, where you would have to deal with them frontally. You manage it maturely. If, for instance, a lot of situations where these things come up, Yawole duties and all of that. If you have co-wives, maybe your husband's brother's wives, that you people are in sync, you have good rapport, you people can team up and manage the situation, properly. For instance, maybe the Yawole thing, you people can just decide that if you people are on good, so much so that the way you people will do, you will be able to handle you manage your mother-in-law. But if you are coming with aggression, I'm sure Arawani, you just be at the receiving end. Because nobody can tell a man to choose between his mother and you. Who are you? When did he know you? So let's, as much as possible, reduce. And now if you are outrightly, if you are now found in a situation where you are left at their mercy, that is where there must be somebody that must be able to intervene, comes in. Because there are people who are in such situations truly where they are left at the mercy of their in-laws. So that's where your parents or your whoever, guardian or whoever comes in. They can wade in. especially where you are there messing and you are really struggling. Otherwise, there are some things that you also need to look away. Choose your battles. You can't tell a man not to take care of his mother. You can't tell a man this is how much you should spend for your. It should not be. You don't even need too much information. Some of us want to know everything. Is it your money? As long as you have money too in the house, what's your business? You know, some of these things are what the basis of the issues we have. What's your business? How is that a problem? You know? So when we are able to look away, choose your battles. That's why when real issues come, they will be able to defend you. Because they know you mind your business too. You are not nosy. You are not disrespectful. You don't go there and say, I know part of the issues they used to have with us. Oh, okay, you see, you want to greet an agbalagba, you stand upright. What is that? Nobody is asking you to kunle. But there are other ways you can do it. You'll be stiff. Shaykh said something in the morning session that will be forming on lagboye or nikiniko will overdo things to the point where they will also be ready for us. But there are a lot of other ways that we can soften, you know, we can make them bend for us without them even knowing it. So yes, Alagboye, Animo, Anikiniko, how are we managing them? You know, they don't, you would have gone in such a way that they will not know that, oh, Kunle Kinwori, Abiyo, Shekiniko Kinwori. When you have finished them with all the, you know, sometimes people used to laugh at me. When I say that, sometimes when I say I want mama in Ilorin, I'll just say, I'll be speaking English. They say, you're speaking English. I say, I saw in Busari. My own Yoruba is scatter. But they don't have a problem with it. Why? Because I'm not condescending, But when you are doing a CBN prayer, Assalamu alaikum, and they draw sorry agbalagba, or you are doing and you are giving attitude like, while I want, no, now you have issues. Even what you are not doing, they will.
Things that you can look away, just look away. Use it as a means of tawassul. See it as, tell Allah that I'm trying not to break the ties of kinship between the mother and the son. Use that to make dua and ask them. Sometimes make dua for them too. Because they are struggling with traumas, you know, and from their own generation and all of that. Some of us who have some of these issues with our own parents, how do we manage our parents? Shall I wish them away? We don't. So and we know that men struggle a lot. Because some women, they live all their lives around their children because of what maybe the dynamics of their marriage. So it's not easy for anyone to watch, divorce them from their children, divorce the home, or separate them from their children. So you will have to manage them, you know, maturely and strategically. Otherwise, you will lose this with your husband. Because the time to come when you think that you're trying to cut yourself. So choose it and be sure that, okay, what struggles am I having with this woman exactly? Why am I doing it? Is she holding my hand or keeping her hand? If not, you see how once in a while, stop talking too much about his mother. Stop complaining so much that you start to feel impulsive towards him. Yes, even if you are struggling, if it's coming, if it is not that, you know, it's overbearing for you to manage. It is a specific time, you know, a specified number of days of manage deal with that. See it as okay, if it's a total story and of course manage and do it as, you know, seeking his face. We put our men sometimes too on people of, you know, situations where they will have to struggle. We are women who build a lot of things. So now imagine the man between two most important women in their lives, the mother and the wife. Now you want him to hold the mother in the husband. You want him to beg you in her presence. What is that? You know, some of these things. And then you want to wish her away, but you also want to enjoy your children. So really, except to say your husband is going to be present, except you wonder why you scatter, except you don't have anything at stake, you don't mind it. But otherwise, if your husband is able to help you too, help him. When you make God for him and his mother, and you relate with everybody. Again, how you're doing with your mother and your children are watching. And they'll hold on to it that, okay, you can treat our daddy's money like this. Okay, time is coming. They'll give it back to me in full. And you know these children, some of them get this, especially this generation now. Some of them will not even wait until the time. They'll start to say to you, Mommy, why are you doing to me now? They have seen that it's only the back of your own. They'll say it. How do you do it? So yes, very carefully, you treat them
like we manage our parents. They say that our parents, the kind of status they have, even if they are not Muslims, they are not allowed to. So put them in that same position. Put them in that position. Because if they are outside, if they are out for you and they are messing with you, they are against you are, then Allah to help your husband to also be fair and to be just and fair between them. So that you are not the cause for what? Broken ties of kinship. It may be his test and you share in part of it because you are sharing his life. So you ask for success in all of that and also give it to them. If you can give them gifts, it's part of what the Prophet said, that endures past to one another and give them gifts. Sometimes, buy gifts and say that to the husband and say, even if the husband is not doing it, the one who you are doing it for the sake will not give you by himself. Again, some of the times when these things happen, without you even talking, allow them to expose them and then you all and be able to manage. Thank you for sitting.
Alright, that we turn to our panel members. Really appreciate your responses to our questions. I appreciate them. And for those of us that are married, I pray that Allah makes our marriage best amongst the best. And those that are single and are searching, may Allah grant us the righteous spouse. So we'll be ending it on this so Nigerian family, there's no life that is easy. So we all have to go over each and every one of those journey verses. I don't know if Mujeedah wants to be able to.
Okay, so I want to Abdullah. Jazakallah khair for coming around. Alhamdulillah, we are here. Alhamdulillah, we are able to get so much from this workshop. I want to believe that by Allah's grace. And we apologize for the setup around here. It's beyond our control. Last year, we didn't have all these problems. And but this year, we have lighting, general lighting, and they can manage their affairs with generator properly. So we're sorry for that, for all those breaking parts. That's what they did our history, because we have finished our section, so we apologize for that. But also, we kindly request for your support as well. We understand that we support us better in all this that we're doing. Hopefully, by Allah's grace, we're going to get better from here. We appreciate all our facilitators, our panelists, for always being there for us. When we call them, they don't take cover from us. They will come around and they will deliver by Allah's grace. And you can see that we don't even charge. Really, for this event, it's 3,000 naira for 2 days. Nobody is doing that anymore. So we appreciate you coming, and also for your support as well in different forms. For those of us that are so key about matchmaking, counseling, we want to do it, but everything is just beyond our control. The lights we're managing, the main events, you can imagine, that's what we're still doing up to this moment. And so we don't really have time for counseling, private counseling, or even matchmaking at all. But inshallah, all those can be fixed to another day, inshallah. So we're going to communicate the time and date for the matchmaking, inshallah, to be done online by Allah's grace. And for some of us that need private counseling, you can contact us on I believe you have our number. The number starts all around. You can contact us, then we'll set you up with a counselor that can do that with you, inshallah. We thank you for coming, for being part of this. May Allah accept it as an act of ibadah from every one of us and reward us abundantly. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.